Walsh and the James Gang right here at KPFT Houston in a great version of Bluebird. Steppenwolf, before that, Snowblind Friend, and we kicked it off with Steve Miller, a great one called Wintertime. My name is Rourke. You are listening to Wide Open Spaces, and today live in the studio, a great songwriter and performer. Started out up north, recently moved to Austin, and has been playing there ever since. He shared the stage with the Shack Shakers, Dale Watson, Hank Williams Jr., just to name a few. He's got gigs all over our area in the next few days, and here to talk about that and so much more, Mr. Charlie Pierce. How you doing this morning, my man?
I'm awesome. Thank you for playing Snowblind Friend. I probably hadn't heard that song in 10 years. Walking in here and getting to hear some Steppenwolf.
Good stuff. We do it every Friday. It's album cut, B-side stuff from the 60s and 70s on Fridays that,
right on.
that you can't get at either of the classic rock stations in town. Doesn't make any sense.
I bet you can't get like the truth out of them either. I hear that you guys speak a little bit of the truth around here.
I think they quit answering the phone a long time ago. Yeah. They're scared of the truth. What's happening, man? You're playing in town tonight over at Natachi's. That's a kind of a happy hour performance.
Yeah, like a dinner kind of thing at 6:30 at Natachi's, and then we're gonna pack today I'm going to play, just songs on the guitar, but the band, Choctaw Wildfire, that I put together, is tuba, piano, and drums. And, so we're going to do that at Natachi's from 6:30 to 9, and then, we're going to run over and play the Big Star Bar at 11, and both those are free shows, so.
Cool.
Come on down.
All right. And then it's on to the Old Quarter Acoustic Cafe tomorrow?
Old Quarter in Galveston.
Oh, you'll have the same lineup with the tuba and drums?
Yes, sir.
All right. And same on Sunday?
Same on Sunday at the Last Concert Cafe from 6 to 9:30. So
okay, very cool.
Houston, yep.
Tell me a little bit about your history. I know you're from up north, and if I'm not mistaken, your mom was kind of a gypsy, and you guys traveled around quite a bit, but settled in Washington. Your mom was at a garage sale, and bam, you walked up to a little piano and started playing it without any piano lessons. Is that right?
I guess at about 5, yeah. I kind of remember that little piano. It was one of those little, you plug it in and, it blows the air, like a kind of reed type of deals. Yeah, I think I played Murray Had a Little Lamb, I don't really remember that too well. It's been a while since being 5.
Your mom picked up that piano and took it home with you.
Yes, she sure did. And then I started in on lessons maybe a little while later and
tell people who Gwendolyn Harper?
Gwendolyn Harper was my piano teacher for basically my entire life. It was classical. I kind of got away from that once I got a little older because I just wanted to be able to wing it.
Sure, but she was kind of famous herself.
Yeah, well, she studied with Nadia Boulanger, who worked, taught Aaron Copland and Leonard Bernstein and all,
nice. So you did that for 12 years. So tell us, it's kind of a different thing. We're doing classical music, and do you do competitions and things like that?
When I was a kid, oh yeah, and maybe that's why I walked away from it because the nerves would get so bad, and then like I could do it, and I knew I was good at it, but invariably I'd always freeze up. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. but with writing these songs, you're playing your own music. If you screw up, it's your songs.
Yeah,
I meant to do that.
How did you kind of get out of that? I mean, once you get into that and you do it for 12 years.
I went to school. I went to school in Evanston, just north of Chicago at Northwestern. And as soon as I got there, I just sort of kind of quit going to class and picked up bass and listened to, we hung out and listened to records and, all the things you do when you listen to records and
and when you're in college.
Yeah, and when you're in college and I learned to play bass, just played bass all day.
And that was it?
Laying around, yeah. And it was kind of, and then I started working on this, little country band kind of thing with some buddies, and then I got back into playing piano through that.
That turned into boogie woogie, right?
Yeah, well, it turned into honky tonk first. We're like, man, it'd be real cool to have a little honky tonk stuff on this, and that was real easy to do. And then I studied with, as I got older, I met this piano player, Erwin Helfer, who play with Muddy Waters and stuff. And
that was in Chicago.
Yeah, that was up in Chicago, and he kind of flipped a big light switch for me, teaching me like some things, and then this guy Chris Foreman, he's probably the best B3 player in the world. He works up in Chicago, and at the Green Mill. He's there all the time, and he blind and like plays like Jimmy Smith, but in his own way. It's perfect. But I took some lessons with him too, and not that I can play the B3. It's a whole different. It's kind of like if you can play guitar, don't mean you can play pedal steel.
Sure. We got Charlie Pierce live in the KPFT studio doing a show at Natachi's tonight, and then on to Big Star. Charlie, we'll talk about when the guitar came into play next, but why don't you play us one on it?
All right.
We talked about all these other instruments.
Let me see here. I'm going to do this song here. It's kind of a call to on. We got these folks, Idle No More, up north, our brothers, and they're kind of, fighting back against the way that the world's heading the wrong direction. And I wrote this song a few years back, but I want to send this out to those folks from Idle No More. Take the side of freedom, know your enemy. It ain't hard to do, they speak on our TV. Own the radio, they own the magazines, as they make the world sick with their disease. They're selling promises to the working man. He's signing contracts that he don't understand. Got him tied down, working overtime, hoping that the ends will meet somewhere down the line. Somewhere down the line we're gonna have to make a stand. Hard rain's gonna wash away the blood upon the land. Where the tears are falling now, a raging sea will flow, singing the most perfect song the world did ever know. The policeman's still arresting anyone who's making noise. Enjoy your freedom, but just don't raise your voice. Live your life in silence, work till you're 65. Always chasing dreams that you will never realize. Working for the dollar they'll just take away. Line their pockets with the money that you saved. As the market crumbles, they're still getting fat. Go watch a movie and forget about that. Somewhere down the line we're gonna have to make a stand. Hard rain's gonna wash away the blood upon the land. Where the tears are falling now, a raging sea will flow, singing the most perfect song the world did ever know. As they keep on building, it crumbles from below. Concrete reminders of what we all should know. Growth without a reason's been a cancer on us all. Hold on tight, kids, get ready for the fall. Somewhere down the line we're gonna have to make a stand. Hard rain's gonna wash away the blood upon the land. Where the tears are falling now, a raging sea will flow, singing the most perfect song the world did ever know. Singing the most perfect song the world did ever know.
Very nice. Charlie Pierce live in the KPFT studios, playing tonight at Natachi's, right next to the Continental Club around 6 o'clock. 6:30.
Right
around there.
6:30.
6:30. And then on to the big star tonight. If you're listening on the island on 89.5, well, he'll be at the Old Quarter Acoustic Cafe on Saturday night, and then back to Houston on Sunday for a 6 o'clock show at the Last Concert Cafe.
You guys get over to the island too, huh?
Yeah, we got a translator out there that spits out our signal on a different radio frequency.
Awesome.
So if you're on the island, you tune in on 89.5, and if you're in Goodrich or Livingston, it's 90.3, and if you're in Huntsville, it's on 89.7.
Right
so we're taking over the Gulf Coast here, man.
That's great, dude.
Well, there's not enough KPFTs out there, so we just thought we'd just spit our signal everywhere.
Fully public, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Nothing.
No corporate sponsorship, none of that, man.
Hallelujah, a little bit from the government, and it gets smaller and smaller each and every year. So yeah,
imagine that.
Yeah, but they don't want us here fighting about freedom for sure.
So a little smaller and smaller, and it costs more and more in terms of what you're able to say.
Absolutely. Right? Well, that's why I'm here. That's why you're here too. That's right. Sir. Glad to have you here, Mr. Charlie Pierce.
Honor.
Tell me, you've done so much over the years. Talk to me about recording.
Recording, huh?
I mean, it sounds like you've been kind of a side guy forever. Is that right?
Well, when I started out with Old Number 8 years and years ago.
And that's a Chicago alt-country band?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you guys were together about 10 years?
At least.
Okay.
We toured all around. We played the Continental when it first opened up down here in Houston, and I kind of fronted that band, but we kind of shared the load, we all sang. I played bass and piano sometimes in that band, and wrote a bunch of the songs.
And you guys have records out?
Yeah, we have a number of records out. We actually won Live Album of the Year on XRT in Chicago.
Nice.
Back in, I couldn't tell you the year, but
right.
we released this album, Double Barrel, just kind of a live album. We recorded the double door, and they gave us Live Album of the Year. So
nice. Is that still in print?
It was if you come to my shows, I got one in my bag. I forgot to bring it for you today.
We'll work something out. And you also had this in your bag too. Tell me about Thank You.
Thank you for buying my record. That I had just come back from Washington State, where I had gone back to school to get a master's in curriculum and instruction, so I could be a teacher. And I got back into the Midwest, and I was living in Michigan, but I had a friend who heard I was back in town. He's like, man, I opened the studio. I got a piano in there. Come down and record. I'll give you a really great rate. I'll do the whole thing for like $100 for the day. I was like, that's great. So I get into I go down a week before to see a friend play or something, and another buddy of mine's at the show. He's like, man, I opened a studio too. He's charging you $100. I'll do it for free. So I call this guy up. I'm like, hey, man, my buddy Andy Matzdorf over at Giant Squid in Chicago, he said he'd record me for free. He's like, I'll record you for free too. He got all pissed, and so I ended up going and tracking 2 days in a row. So this record was
back and forth.
Same studio. I just went in there. And all that stuff on that record is one take, just sit down and play the piano, and we took at one studio and then the other one's at another studio. I have a blue album, but it's been in the can. I never have printed it just because, I was teaching school and doing all that, and finally I had a friend call me down to Austin to work on a record this spring, and I was like, you know what, this is, I love the kiddos, but this is what floats my boat.
Sure.
This is what I got to do. And the path kind of lit up everything just lined up. It was like, if I don't follow this path, I'm both a dumbass and I will
live with regrets forever
for the rest of my life.
What did I do? Why didn't I do that?
Yeah. And now I know this is what I got to do. If I got to do it under a bridge, so be it.
Well, from what I heard, I don't think you're not going that direction. Tell me, how long you been in Austin?
Only about 5 months.
Okay.
I just got to Austin in August.
All right, and tell me about these guys you're playing with tonight. I guess this is a fairly new project as well.
It's funny because as I was moving to Austin, I knew I wanted a tuba player. That's the band I wanted, tuba and cajon, piano, or drums, and this guy. I went on Craigslist and typed in tuba, and this guy Aaron Moore, he was like had a little sign. I play bass and tuba and trombone, and I'm moving to Austin in like September, and so I called him up. He was from Oregon, both West Coast guys originally. I kind of say I'm from nowhere. I was born in Hawaii, Chicago, and Washington State, and Michigan, and now Texas. But yeah, I called him up, and he's like, yeah, and he came down, and he was in town for less than a week, and we were playing. We had a gig in San Antonio, and we ran a rehearsal, and he finally got his tuba up here, and and since then I've typed tuba into Craigslist and nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
So you found the one and only.
I found the one and only. There's a few other tuba players I was working with in Austin at first, but just having and great players. There's all sorts of great players, but just having the consistency. Like my drummer Steve. I know I can count on him. I don't. In Austin, it's kind of weird. Like everybody, it's kind of like
on the third Thursday, I can play with you.
Renegade man whores to the highest bidder, Right. I've been lucky to keep these guys and
sure.
kind of try to develop something that's solid, slowly but surely.
And tell us the name of this group.
Yeah, that group's Choctaw Wildfire.
All right. And you got songs written? Planning on recording?
I do. I could play you something I just wrote the other day. I liked it. I didn't write this song. This song was given to me on the day that horrible tragedy at Sandy Hook occurred, and I just so then I figured I wanted to get people to hear it, and it just happened to be like nice that I don't know. I think the song can be healing, but like the fact that I'm on the radio like soon after writing it, like I don't know, like when I talk about the light being lit and the path being lit.
And here you are.
Yeah, and more people get to hear it. I made a little YouTube video. It's called "Only Love Can Save Us."
It's Charlie Pierce.
Yes.
That's what you look for on YouTube.
I think Charlie Pierce. There's like the Charlie Pierce from NPR that I imagine you guys do. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see Charlie Pierce. Only Love Can Save Us.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted it about a week ago or something.
All right. Well,
first thing I personally ever posted on YouTube, but it goes like this. There's nothing left is sacred. Is anything divine? Our kids should be off limits when folks lose their minds. And as the world is crumbling, hold your babies tight. Love, love, love can lead us to the light. Wish there was an answer for all the killing here. Wish there was an answer for the killing over there. Love, 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 love can lead us to the light. Love, 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 it's gonna save us. Please don't talk no politics. Let them families be. Say a prayer for all of us. Let the world find peace. Bless us with the knowledge. There's one thing we need. Love, 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 love can lead us to the light. Love, 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 it's gonna save us. Grant us the compassion to rise above the hate. There is but one answer that can save us from this fate. Love, 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 love can lead us to the light. Love, love, love.
Charlie Pierce live in the KPFT studio, playing tonight in the Natachis. Then on to Big Star, Saturday night at the Old Quarter Acoustic Cafe, and Sunday at the Last Concert Cafe. That should be a early show, 6:30 or so.
Yes, sir.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
What's going on next year?
Whew, you tell me. Hey, the world didn't end. Or maybe it did. So I really had no plans for next year. Just kidding. I have a nice, we're going to hang in Austin at the beginning of the year. I'm working on a record right now with the band, and, you never know, in this business, it's kind of like people are saying, oh, we're going to do this with you and that. And like when it happens, it happens. I follow up, I met a guy the other day that, worked with Rocky Erickson, and he brings songwriting. He does like this songwriting swap, and he seems like legit. So I what's going on for next year is, man, I'm gonna just go with the flow and love every minute of it, man.
There you go.
This is it's amazing, like what's been
Here
going
you
on.
are.
Yeah. So
Fantastic. Well, man, have a great time tonight at Natachis. That's a 6:30 show. Big Star at 11.
yes, sir.
All right. And your website.
That would be charliepiercemusic.com.
Okay.
CharliePiercemusic.com. Did I spell all that correctly?
I guess.
I hope so.
They'll figure it out when they get there.
I hope so.
Can we talk you out of one more?
Oh, yeah. Let me, I got to think, I could sing the song that I tried to, get my wife to get me back into the house. I could sing. Yeah, I'm going to sing.
How many times you got to sing that a week?
I don't even think she's listening. But things are good right now.
Good.
You take it minute by minute, or you can just take it how you can get it. Right? I'm gonna do this one here. I'm gonna do this one. I'm not gonna go play. I'm just gonna write a song about from the old days and playing country music and how it used to be, for me or for those that might do such a thing. Came to hear him play. They all shook his hand, and it was the greatest thing to see that country band. The whiskey flowed and the beer was cold, and the band played all night long. When the show was over, he had to live them songs. They all crowded round him when the night just wouldn't end. They all said they knew him well, everyone's best friend. The women tried to love him, sometimes they'd succeed. Love don't last forever, in the end they'd always leave. The whiskey overtook him and he fell upon his knees, like a slave before his master, begging to be free. The bottle that he turned to only let him down. Like the broken promises lay shattered on the ground. Picking up the pieces only cut his hands. As the scars grew deeper now, well, he became a man. He wasn't even 30, but he felt like 65. You can't play country music and expect to stay alive. Could see the sorrow if you looked into his eyes. No one stopped to wonder how a country boy survives. Every night they'd feed him whiskey, watch him drink it down. Another empty bottle lying shattered on the ground. When his pride had overtook him, he fell upon his knees. The women that had loved him just ignored his pleas. The people talked about him and wondered what went wrong. You can't call it living country songs. You can't call it living country songs. You can't call it living country song.
Fantastic, man.
Right on, thanks, man.
Charlie Pierce live in the KPFT studio. Is this your first time at KPFT?
This is, as far as I can recollect, this is my first.
I'm going to take that as a yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome, man. I'm glad that we could get you on the air.
I really appreciate it, dude. Super big time. Thank you so much, Rourke.
Hey, man, doors after that performance, the door's always open. Make sure you let us know when you're in town so we can get you on the air and talk about your gigs, all right?
Thank you so much.
You bet. And when you get to tell me that Choctaw
Wildfire.
And when you record with the band, make sure I get a copy.
I absolutely will do that, man. And I just let me say one thing to everybody: like, bless you all with love. Have a beautiful, wonderful day, man.
Cool. Make it even better by showing up in Attaches tonight for a free show.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
But regardless of that, just bless you all with some love.
You the man. Hey, we're going to jump back into it with the Grateful Dead. This is Big Boss Man and Charlie. We'll see you real soon, my man. Have a great show tonight.
Thank you.
You bet.